Endurance is the endurance runner's most sought after physical asset. And in this video, I want to share how you can more effectively build your endurance so that you have an enormous base and foundation of fitness that you can then layer on top some workouts, some speed, and get that next performance breakthrough. So as you can see, it is a wonderfully beautiful morning here in Denver, Colorado. It's almost June, which makes me think of summer base training. You see, I was a cross-country runner both in high school and college, and summer for me is really the time to run high mileage, to get your base built for the upcoming fall season. So I love talking about endurance building in these summer months because it's actually a much better time to build endurance. You know, when we run really fast and we spike our heart rate, that increases our core body temperature. So the shorter, more difficult efforts like fast workouts, VO2 max types of workouts, even racing a 5K or any kind of middle distance event is actually really challenging in the summer because of the heat. I would much rather run a half marathon than a 5K in the summer because I won't really be susceptible to the heat quite as much. My heart rate won't be as high and I'll be able to maintain a little bit more. So if we are going to be building a base this summer, if we want to build our endurance, how should we go about that? Let's dive in. So here's the thing about endurance. It can be built in a lot of different ways. Now, we're runners, so the most specific form of endurance we can build is the endurance we build from running. So let's never fool ourselves into thinking that we can plant carrots and harvest potatoes. We can never become a great runner if we don't do the running. The running is the most important thing. So if you want to build a huge base this summer, if you want as much endurance as possible, step number one is to gradually increase your overall weekly mileage. And you can do this in ways that aren't as daunting as you might think. So you can add another very short, easy day of running. You can add another mile to your long run. And that strategy is actually going to give you a little bit more bang for your buck, because what happens at the end of a long run is very different physiologically than what happens during a, say, short 3 to 5 mile easy run. So you're going to get more aerobic metabolic activity at the end of that long run. So it's a good idea to always be consistently doing a long run and to challenge yourself. Every couple of weeks, let's add on another 5 or 10 minutes, another mile or kilometer or two, and that will keep pushing your endurance gains further out. So besides running more, which is obviously probably the most effective way that we runners can build endurance, there's also lots of other ways that we can build endurance as well. We can also do workouts that build endurance, though this is a little bit more of a risky strategy because it's on the intensity side of things. So things like tempo or lactate threshold and slower are going to be considered aerobic workouts. So anything that you do at lactate threshold, half marathon race pace, marathon race pace, any pace in that area is aerobic. You are not going into oxygen debt, and you will be building your aerobic capacity with workouts just like that. I want to take a quick break to thank our sponsor, PreventX. You can go to PreventX.com and use code JASON15 for 15% off your purchase. But PreventX is a very different kind of supplement company, and I want to thank them for all the work they're doing to helping runners with joint problems. I want to share some of the incredible testimonials from people who have started taking their joint health product. Now, I've never partnered with a supplement company before because I've never found one that I really believe in, but PreventX is different. They are, in my view, the best supplement company that you can find. They only use the most bioavailable ingredients. They do pharmaceutical grade manufacturing, testing of both raw ingredients and the finished product. And for every bottle of vitamins that you purchase, they're gonna donate a bottle to kids in need. Now, if you're a runner with joint problems, you've gotta try their Joint Health Plus product for all these reasons. I mean, it is clinically proven to reduce joint stiffness, to improve joint flexibility, and to reduce joint pain in just 7 to 10 days. And the testimonials from our YouTube and podcast audiences who have tried Joint Health Plus really do indicate that this is the real deal. Now, I don't have any joint problems, so I can't speak personally to this. I'm a big fan of Nourify, their vitamin, and also their immune support product. But Joint Health Plus seems to be practically a game changer for these athletes with joint problems. So if you want to try it out and support our YouTube channel, go to PreventX.com and enter in code Jason15. You're going to save 15% on your purchase, and if you get the vitamins, you're going to be helping kids in need, as well as investing in your health with what I think is one of the best supplement companies that you can find. Of course, mileage and workouts are sort of the easy ways to build your endurance. I think we runners understand this intuitively. We know that if we want to get better, we should run a lot, we should do some hard workouts, right? There's also other ways that you can build your aerobic capacity. So let's start with the number one thing that runners don't want to do, cross-training. Now, I like cycling. I'm a big road cyclist. I have a road bike. I love it. It's fun. I think I just like to go fast. So that's why I like to ride my bike. And so if you have a bike or access to a pool where you can do some aqua jogging or even the elliptical, these are all very effective forms of cross training that are going to build your aerobic metabolism without the big risk of injuries that running carries. And these types of exercise also have pretty good carryover to the sport of running. So it's a little bit unlike swimming. Swimming is great, however, it doesn't really build running specific endurance. So if you want to build endurance and have it carry over to your running, let's stick with something that is similar to running. Something like the elliptical, where your legs are moving in a running-like fashion, you're supporting your body weight, and you're not using your upper body for propulsion. Very similar to running, same with cycling, even pool running. Even though you're not bearing any weight, you're using your legs just like you would with running and increasing your heart rate in just about the same way. I really love cross training. It has helped me in two different instances in my running career make dramatic breakthroughs in my performances when I used it on top of a high mileage program. Yes, it takes extra time, but it is worth it and it does work. I also don't want you to discount all the other fitness that you might gain from other things that aren't formal training. Now, I recently published a video about what I like to call sneaky fitness. Sneaky fitness is what happens when you're doing active things that aren't formal training, yet nevertheless do contribute to your overall endurance. And two of the best examples that I have as a parent is, number one, I go hiking with my kids. And so anytime I am hiking on some technical trail up a big hill here in Colorado at altitude, I'm actually building some decent endurance. You know, I'm working in a high zone 1, sometimes a low zone 2 effort, even with my kids. And I'm really able to get in that fitness at a time where, you know, I'm not really writing that down in the training log. Another great example is if I go to the playground with my kids and I know I'm not going to be able to get in a run that day, I will run around with them and have my watch on like a cardio setting. And it's fascinating that if you actually pay attention and you're intentional with your playground playing, you can keep your heart rate in a low zone 2 effort for a fairly long period of time. And it can be done in a way that isn't as stressful as running because you're doing all kinds of other movements, you're climbing, you know, you are walking, you're running a little bit. I like to jog around the playground a little bit, let my kids do their thing. And I also like to throw in a little bit of body weight strength exercises just to maintain my heart rate throughout the session. I call this playground fitness. I absolutely love it. If you follow me on Strava, you'll see some of these sometimes. And it's a great way to get in a workout when you're not really getting in a workout. All right, runners, I hope you get as excited about endurance as I do. I absolutely love building a huge base in the summer season because it's just a really fun way to enjoy the beautiful weather and get outside and explore nature. It doesn't always have to be done with just running. That's the best way. It's the most effective way. Focus on your overall mileage, your long run. Let's do some aerobic workouts. Let's also embrace a little bit of cross training. I know we don't like to do it, but man, is it effective. And of course, sneaky fitness does have its place. It comes in handy in a pinch if you can't do a formal workout. And if you follow these tips, That guy almost ran me over. But if you follow these tips, you are going to build a really great base this summer, and your fall season of racing is going to be awesome. Good luck out there.